All right, hello everyone. Thank you for joining us. Today we're super excited to talk to these knowledgeable individuals about the animal systems. And we're going to start off with some quick introductions. So my name is Lainey Sweers. I'm currently serving as a Minnesota FFA State Sentinel this year. I'm originally from the Minnesota FFA chapter, and I'm attending the University of Minnesota Crookston for agricultural education. With that, I'll toss it over to my teammate, Anna.
Hey everyone, my name is Anna Early and I'm currently serving as the Minnesota FFA State Reporter. I'm originally from the Litchfield FFA chapter and I'm currently attending Bridgewater College in Wilmer, majoring in agribusiness with a dairy emphasis. So if you guys would like to go down the line, introduce yourself, your job title, your company, and a little bit about what you do there, that would be great.
Sounds great. Good morning, everyone. My name is Brett Boyum. I'm a staff veterinarian with Riverview LLP, based out of Morris, Minnesota, and I work in our dairy system, primarily working with health and production for our dairy cows and calves, based in our 5 operating states, Minnesota, South Dakota, New Mexico, Arizona, and we have beef focused in Nebraska. So it's great to be with you guys. I'm an FFA alum from Battle Lake, Minnesota, is where I was born and raised. So good to be with you all.
Hello, everybody. I'm Corey Bolam from Austin, Minnesota, is where I live now. Born and raised in Goodhue, Minnesota, also an FFA alum, and went to school at University of Wisconsin River Falls with an ag business degree. I've been with Hormel, will be 30 years this year. Been involved, started out on the procurement, pig procurement side, been to a couple different plants, moved a couple different times, and have based out of our corporate office now, and director of pork procurement and pork operations. In Austin here, we harvest about 20,000 pigs a day, and certainly make sure that we have black label bacon on your table across the country.
Hi, I'm Gavin Van Moore. I am from Tracy, Minnesota. I am a site manager for Pipestone Management. My barn is over by Holland, Minnesota, just north of Pipestone. And really my entire job is based on producing a high quality wean pig for our shareholders. And the best part about working for Pipestone is we don't own any of the sow farms. We are entirely family farmer owned. So the people I call my boss that I work for are local family farmers, and they're fully invested in us, and we are the management company. So everything we do is from our incoming gilts for our breeding herd, and we oversee the gestation, the farrowing process, and then produce a 21-day-old wean pig for our shareholders.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jose Rojas. I am originally from Mexico. I work at Genio, and Genio is a subsidiary of Hormel. I've been at Hormel 8 years, and before that, I was with Smithfield Foods 18 years. So I raised pigs for most of my career, and most recently, for the last 4 years, I've been raising turkeys. So I'm the vice president of lab production here at Genio, and with that, in our lab production system, we include breeder farms, hatcheries, feed mills, grow out, and live home. I did attend animal science, university in the northern part of Mexico, animal science, and then I did go to Iowa State for a master's degree.
Thank you so much for those introductions. And we only have 4 people on this call, but we already heard how diverse this career field can be. So I think that's really cool to get some insight on 4 very different but still similar jobs. So what led you to your specific careers? Was there a specific person, a course you took? And all of you guys can weigh in on this question.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, I'm an FFA alum, and what led me into agriculture was growing up on my family's dairy farm, again in Battle Lake, Minnesota. We milked 120 cows there at that time. And so from an early age, there's a lot of people, I think, in agriculture and veterinarians specifically that say, I want to be a vet. And I bit that early in my life. And so I set my trajectory moving forward. I attended the University of Minnesota Twin Cities for my bachelor's in animal science. And then I stayed there for another 4 years to get my my veterinary degree from Minnesota as well. And dairy has kind of always been in my blood, focused in on working in dairies growing up on my farm, as well as getting other experience with neighbor farms or working with practitioners as I got a little bit older. And I would say as I look at veterinary medicine as a whole, I think it's one opportunity to have a fulfilling career in animal agriculture and more largely agriculture. And so I would say my local veterinarian growing up, kind of my family ties in agriculture, and then getting involved in activities both in high school as well as university as I moved throughout, really led me to know that this was actually where I wanted to be, not just where I thought I wanted to be.
Yeah, for me, again, same deal. Grew up on a farm, a diversified farm, certainly involved in 4-H and FFA, and then, like I said, got an ag business degree. And so knew I always wanted to be in agriculture of some fashion or another. Ended up getting an opportunity to start right out of college with Hormel. And so it's worked out great. It's the nice thing about a big company is there's multitude of opportunities within the company. And so even though I've had different jobs and different roles, I've been able to stay with the same company the entire time. And so again, getting that opportunity to, I'll say, feed the world and working for a food company, and yet still get to be involved with agriculture producers. So initially when I started, was involved with hog producers at a very ground level. And so got to work for a Fortune 500 company and yet still working with producers. So it's really kind of been the best of both worlds from that standpoint.
Yep. So my background is a little bit different. So my family does farm. So we've been farming in Lyon County since 1910. So we became a century farm not too long ago. My grandma proudly still lives on the farm. But right around when I was born is in the 90s, and my dad actually had to get out of farming himself. And that's when he joined Pipestone. He started managing one of our sow farms by Tracy here. And he's been with the company ever since and watched it grow. And when I was making a decision of where I wanted to be, I was at South Dakota State, and I wasn't necessarily sold on agriculture, but I wanted to get back to small town Southwest Minnesota. So I started working for Pipestone part-time. I actually got a history education degree while I was going to South Dakota State. And when I graduated, it was kind of the decision of, do I want to teach or do I want to work with pigs? And really my decision came down to, I liked working for family farmers, a lot of pride in our family about having a family farm, keeping it small. And also I saw the growth and the opportunity in Pipestone as we keep growing each year, and is now a company that's in seven states, and we have barns that we manage in China and Mexico, and it's incredible to see where it's grown from when I was a kid, and excited to see where it goes throughout my career.
My career is a little different. I started in Mexico, really was in a big city and not a lot of connection with agriculture, but my uncles had pig farm. So I went in summers to help them at the pig farm. And that's where my love of pigs grew. And I decided that I want to work with pigs. So I went to animal science. And then somebody said, if you really want to learn more about pigs, you have to go to the US and study in a school that is specialized in pigs or that area. So that moved me to Iowa. And then I really moved a lot. I lived in North Carolina, lived in Colorado, lived in Arizona, back to Colorado, and now here in Minnesota. And you know, I fulfill my dream of working with pigs a lot, but then destiny throws curves sometimes. And now I've been working with turkeys, but it also allowed me to grow and learn more and meet different people. So it's been a great experience for me.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys all so much for weighing in on that question. I always find it so interesting just to learn about the backgrounds of people and where they started and where they are now. I certainly think that's really interesting. So with that, our next question is, what does a typical day look like for you?
Probably there's going to be a similar theme if I could guess here, but there is no typical day. My day can be very diverse, but they're all fun. Again, Riverview has multiple different dairy farms and calf ranches across the country. And so I'm going to focus most of my time. I do focus most of my time up here in Minnesota and South Dakota, working with our teams. There's about 40 or so people working on any given dairy. We're going to be milking anywhere from 6 to 10,000 cows per farm. And so obviously these are farms that require a lot of different management skill and training verification. So a lot of my time that I spend as I focus in on kind of training development, if you will be giving trainings on how to properly, identify sick animals, lame animals, how to do any sort of basic medical procedures that may be necessary. And then also looking at health and production data, making sure the health of the herd is where we want it to be. We're kind of predicting any potential known situations that may be coming on in a dairy farm. For example, in the summer, we're going to deal with heat stress, hot weather. We want to make sure we've got the barns properly ventilated and prepared for those types of things. So that's kind of on the labor training development, working with my coworkers to make sure we're caring for the animal the best that we can. And that's really at the end of the day what it's all about. And then as I look at a little bit further, one part that I really enjoy is working with veterinary students. We have an externship program that we host every summer. And so we're developing those internal projects. I help to coordinate those projects and work to get tangible results so we can know if we're actually doing how we're doing on our farm. For example, last summer, we looked at a selective dry cow therapy study to see, can we reduce antibiotic usage for blanket dry cow therapy in our farm? Today, that's the only antibiotic we're using on our farm is blanket dry cow therapy, giving an antibiotic to protect her next lactation. And so we're constantly looking for innovative ideas or opportunities to be a little bit better year over year. And so that's one way that I help to work in that. The other area that I would spend most of my time, or a portion of my time, is going to be working with our vendors. So different vendors that are providing, in this case, veterinary products, vaccines, et cetera, that we're going to be building into our health management protocols. And so working with those on a regular basis, not daily by any means, but on a regular basis, to make sure that we're getting the right products, we're using them correctly. And again, we're maximizing the health and the output of our dairy herds. So on any given day, I'm going to be doing any combination of that. But basically, at the end of the day, we want to make sure we're caring for the animals the best way we can. And we're doing it the most efficient, productive way that we know how.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Brett. There's no normal day or usual day at all. And so in the role that I'm in today, again, I'm based out of our corporate office. And so it's more of a management dealing with other managers and trying to make efficiency decisions within the plant, labor and lack of labor challenges and trying to deal with that. I also get involved with some of our retail and food service sectors dealing with customers. It's amazing how many people that are, I'll say, involved in the food industry, but have no idea that that food industry starts with a livestock or an animal. And so I get to be involved in a lot of those discussions and really teachings in a lot of cases, because they really have nothing to compare to and nothing to relate it to other than their dog or their cat. And as we know, that can be dangerous. And so I get to deal with the animal rights groups, the animal welfare activist groups. And so there's certainly, like I say, every single day is a little bit different and certainly never dull by any means. But again, basically all trying to help educate consumers, try and get the best product to the consumers at the most economical cost. So it kind of all relates around that.
Yeah, a normal day in our sow farms, I mean, our main focus every single day is to produce a high quality, low cost pig for our shareholders. Obviously, the more efficient we can be, more pigs we can produce for them, as well as more cost efficient. You know, times like this past year, every penny matters. And really once on the management level, you know, my crew goes through, there are three main focus points. They're food, water, and air, high quality, clean, and nutritious, and making sure that the sows are healthy. We're looking at every single pig every single day, getting proper treatment and proper care. And overall, when you get to my position as a manager, really I mostly invest in my crew. A crew is only as strong as its weakest member. So this is where my background and education really comes in handy, because then I can develop my crew to make sure that they're high quality, and especially with the growing company, getting to watch my crew members develop and progress and become managers and leads of them on their own career really is exciting, and one of the joys of my job, as well as having that relationship with the farmer, so that I can do everything in my power to help them out.
Yeah, I don't know that I can add a lot to what Brett, Gavin, and Corey said, but instead I may say, what does my best day look like? And the best day for me is a day that I can go to a farm, maybe answer a few calls early morning, but then go to a farm and spend time to somebody who just joined our company that is trying to raise turkeys in a different way or in a better way. And then when they ask me about leadership or what career they can accomplish in our company. So when I spend time at a farm talking development and opportunities with somebody, that's one of my best days.
Thank you. Those are great answers. So me and Anna are really passionate about animal systems, but we know that there are so many other FFA members that also are and are probably looking to go into similar career fields that you are. So what are some valuable skills, and what is your company looking for in future employees?
Yeah, I'd say, so I spent, prior to joining Riverview a few years ago, I spent 3 years in private practice. And so I really had the fortune really to spend some time working in private practice. And that really, I guess you could say, I cut my teeth working on farms and really trying to work with those farms. And what led me to Riverview is really about the people. I think you can drill down with enough different of these panel discussions and so forth. And you know, the businesses, there are some differences among businesses, but people and kind of people management really is what I would say drew me to Riverview. Number one, just like our passion and our desire for wanting to improve and do better today than we did yesterday. And so as I look at putting myself back a few years ago in your guys' seats, I think it's really developing the skills around interpersonal skills, communication skills, making sure that you've got the ability to ask questions and critically think about things. I think we say often it's easy to train something how to do a technical skill. It's a lot harder to train someone how to have a conversation or think critically or challenge a thought in a nice way or in a tactful way. And so I think as I look at FFA and other opportunities like that, those are some of the skills that I took away from FFA and the like of the interpersonal soft skills, if you will, that probably got me farther than any textbook will. Not saying textbooks are not important, but nonetheless, that's would be my short snip of advice there from a skill perspective.
Yeah, I would agree with Brett. Definitely. There's, I think the ag kids in general have already an understanding of work ethic. They have an understanding of what I call sense of urgency. there's times because we deal with whether it's crop harvest or times that are more busy or faster paced than others, they understand that sometimes you got to work at a faster pace. You can't just be the slow turtle all the time, and so being able to move and change with the speed of business, so to speak, I think is certainly important. So the work ethic piece, obviously being able to and willing to work is number one. Positive attitude. Again, I agree with Brett. We can teach you what we need you to know, but having that positive attitude, and then very much the communication skills, especially I'll say in today's younger people, we tend to get so absorbed in our phones and in our media technology from that standpoint that we forget about how to talk and interact. And unfortunately, we've had to have a lot of meetings this year because of COVID that are the same type of format, and being able to at least see the other people and have that interaction is I think very important, and being able to have that communication skill is very important. And so again, probably the biggest piece of advice I would say to myself back then is, at this point in your life, make yourself uncomfortable. Put yourself in uncomfortable positions, because you're going to get put in uncomfortable positions later. It's a lot easier to do that and get used to being uncomfortable at an early age. And so that's what I would recommend. Put yourself and stretch out into areas that maybe you don't know much about, but put yourself in uncomfortable positions and then see what you learn from it, because it can be really help open up your mind that way.
Yeah, I think when I look at Pipestone and really kind of the perks, or what really drew me to joining, one is the opportunity is endless. Numerous cases of people that start off as power washers that end up being managers or supervisors. It's endless. And if you look at our core values as a company, it's integrity, caring, commitment, growth, and teamwork. Kind of the main one that always sticks out to me is that commitment. Are you fully committed to yourself? Are you committed to your crew? Are you committed to the farmers that you serve? And really that commitment is something that's day in and day out. Throughout our barn, I have these posters all over, just says win the day. If we want to be successful in 10 weeks, if we want to be successful next year or next quarter, we can't just, collapse our way into it or fumble our way into it. We have to put the work in today. If we don't get better today, it's not going to happen 10 weeks from now. So be committed to bettering yourself, bettering your team today, and that success will follow you down the road. And when you set your goals, if your goal is the mountaintop, don't settle for a nice hillside view. Keep pursuing that mountaintop. Don't be satisfied where you're at. If your goal is something higher, keep pushing yourself, and always be committed to bettering yourself every single day.
I'm realizing now that it's not the best to be the last one, because everything has been said, but Brett talked about interpersonal skills, Gavin talked about commitment, Corey talked about challenging ourselves to get out there, and communication too. So I agree completely. I will only add to be willing to move. Be willing to move. I mean, it's not the end of the world to move to another country or to move to North Carolina. And that is going to really broaden your horizons, and also work alongside with people from other cultures. And I'm not talking northern Minnesota versus southern Minnesota, okay? I'm talking about other countries, Mexico, Somali. We have people from Koran in the Rochester area, or Cambodia, I'm sorry. We have people from Somalia in some of our plants, and also in our Detroit Lakes hatchery. So learn about people, or to relate with to other people, like Brett was talking, but also people from other countries. You yourself, one way to challenge yourself and really get out there is travel to other places that you're going to be uncomfortable, and you're going to learn a lot. And the last thing I would say is learn how to handle stress. And sometimes sports can allow you that, but the sooner younger you are able to handle stress, that is going to help you along the way in your career.
Awesome. Advice is always something that I hold near and dear to my heart, and I know that our students will definitely be doing the same. So quickly, this is our last question. Just answer it real quick here. So what are the activities in your job that you have enjoyed the most or found the most interesting?
That's a great question. I think there's a lot of really good days when I think generally, if I could synthesize it down to like Gavin said before, is winning as a team. I think seeing an obstacle in front of us, whether it's an innovative idea or trying to create a different protocol or run a trial, I think there's a lot of good that can come out of teamwork. And sometimes it's really uncomfortable. And sometimes you fall flat on your face and you got to figure out how to do it better. And I think when you can come together, work as a team, bring all your personalities and your skills together and create a common goal or accomplish a common goal, those are my best days. When I see people that have, I've only been here relatively short for the past few years, but accomplishing goals together, I think are probably my best days and are the funnest things that I do on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, there's again, I find it interesting. Just about every day is something different, and there's always something interesting about it. But probably the best days are some of those days when you have a conversation with a food service customer from some other state. They have no idea what pig production or what a pig probably even looks like in a live state, and then be able to have the conversation. They come in with the mindset that we have to do away with pigs indoors and that we have to get pigs outdoors and in an organic state. And obviously there's certainly an opportunity to do that with some, but not if we're going to feed the world to be able to do that. And so have those conversations with a customer that has a true, I'll say ill-conceived idea of what agriculture is, and then be able to explain and walk through, and at the end have them, I'll say, really convinced that how we're doing it is the most efficient in the world. We are concerned about the environment. We are concerned about the animal, and really have them on board saying, hey, we are proud of the food we eat and really proud to be a part of agriculture from the U.S. So.
Yeah, really, I think the most exciting part of our job, it truly is the people. We always say pigs are easy, people are tough. You can definitely create more challenges when you get different personalities involved. But really the most rewarding part of my job is when you get someone in day one, they're excited and they got all these visions, all these goals, and you're going to see them progress, but you're also going to see them struggle, have their faults. And when you get to that point of them taking the next step and they get to advance their own career, you get to see the excitement and all that time and energy invested in them. Really makes it all worthwhile to know that you've helped someone else's career, and at the same time helping develop so many other people's lives and impact the people, just by the farmers that we produce for and how many people that they help feed. It doesn't get much better than that.
I enjoy when I see somebody that work along the way to get promoted to a bigger job. That is an enjoyable moment. I also enjoy working with others to solve a problem. We may have something new that's coming our way. We had no idea how we're going to overcome it, but then we come together and as a team solve that problem. That's a good day. And I'll close my comment to saying dream big, but dream big for what you're doing today. Don't wait to be older to dream big. And an example, there's a picture out there sitting right by President Trump on 2017 from FFA in Minnesota that got to go to the White House. So dream big and don't wait too much to start dreaming big.
Jose's too humble here. He didn't tell you that he's the other one sitting on the other side of the president at the table.
Well, across the table, but yeah.
All right, thank you so much for all of your insight and your input on behalf of Minnesota FFA. We are so grateful that you guys could jump on and answer some of our questions today. So thank you so much.